Welcome back to the Immigration Answers Show. My name is Jim Hacking. I'm an immigration attorney practicing law throughout the United States out of our offices in St. Louis, San Diego, and Washington, D.C. This is episode 400. Can you guys believe it? That's 400 episodes of the show. You know, I never even had the good idea to count the episodes. It was only when I had smart people around me who said, we should figure out how many of these there have been. And I think back when we counted, there was 130. So we've really come a long way. And we have some special guests here today who've come to help me celebrate. And I have to bring on first and foremost my trusty sidekick, Huli. What do you say, Huli?
Hi, Jim. Well, I want to say thank you to everyone for following us for 400 shows already. It's amazing how far we have gone. And the other thing I want to approach right now is to say thank you for everyone who calls to the office, and some of them recognize my voice, or they say, "Oh, you're Huli. You're the one that Jim says, Huli, take notes. Huli, do this." And yeah, I'm the Huli. So I want to say thank you, everyone, for being part of this Immigration Answer Show.
It's great. Thanks so much, Huli. Thanks for being here and thanks for helping so much.
You're welcome.
All right, next up, we have our head of marketing, Maho, is here. Maho, hello.
Hello, everyone. Hello, Jim. Hello, Huli. I'm so happy to be here joining you, celebrating the show. Um, I wanted to say thank you to all of you who watch the show every single day and just come here to talk to Jim and then just call us to the firm. I mean, we're very grateful to talk to you every single day. And well, I'm talking from me, but I really enjoy working here, helping people, helping immigrants. So yeah, I don't know. I think this is a really good example of what we do. So yeah, I'm just so happy to celebrate the show too.
Thanks, Maho. You're a great member of the team. We love having you, and you're doing a great job running the marketing department. And thank you for all of your support and all of your great work on the leadership committee for the firm.
Thank you, Jim.
Awesome. Thank you, Maho. And we have one more member of our team here. Her name is Lyneth. Lyneth, how are you? She's our community manager.
Hi, Jim. How are you?
I'm great. How you
I'm
doing?
great. I'm great. Congratulations on 400 episodes.
Thanks.
That's
That's fun.
epic.
Yeah, that is
Did it
epic.
come to
Yeah.
your mind? Did it come to your mind that you were going to reach 400?
No, as I mentioned, I didn't even really start counting them until I think it was Maho's idea or maybe yours or somebody like, you guys should figure out how many there've actually been. So no, I never thought we'd get to 400, but now, I'm just pumped and looking forward to 500.
Yeah, absolutely. We can. And well, I'm very happy to be here. It's crazy. I had never been on the show, so it's great. It's a great opportunity to be here. As Jim said, for all people watching, I'm the community manager. So I read all of your comments. I see that you guys have a lot of fun on the show. So we thought that for today's show, well, maybe I've seen and I've read some comments whenever Jim says something fun. So I think people surely remember some memorable quotes that you, Mr. Hacking, have said on any other, like any previous show. So I just thought that maybe we can compile them all on the comments. If anybody remembers, they can just share their favorite moment or just a moment. Not necessarily a quote from Jim, but if so, we would love to read. So whatever is okay. We would like to share with the team.
Yeah, any comments or anything you want to leave about things you remember from the show? And of course, we all remember our good friend Shabazz. But for sure, everybody, if there's something you remember from the show or when something that's different from when you started watching, that would be great. And Lyneth is great dealing with all the comments. When you have all these different social media channels, there's lots of input and lots of people reaching out to us, and some people have cases, but most don't. And so it's a certainly a full-time job. And Lyneth, we're very grateful for all your hard work and being a member of the team.
Oh, thank you. It's my pleasure. I'm very happy reading all of the comments. So you guys have fun. Bye.
Awesome. Thanks, Lee. All right. So let's go ahead and get this party started. Let's say hi to, anybody, leave comments, anything that you remember funny on the show. I mean, my personal funny favorite, my favorite is every now and then we'll get somebody and I can see them in the waiting room, and they're laying down like this, just chilling like this. And they might have their phone up above them like this, and they're just waiting. And then sometimes they sit up straight and start talking, but most of the time they just lay there without their shirt on. So those are the ones that just crack me up. Is when, I mean, dude, you're on YouTube, people are watching, but it's all good. It just makes me laugh. Richard is here, and he's our first guest for today. Hello, Richard.
Hey, can you hear me?
I got you. How you doing?
Yeah, doing great. So, hey, I'm just to follow up with what the intro to the show. I've been watching you for about a year now as you've been helping us through the immigration process here. And if I can say the one thing that I like, you have this dry sense, almost like a British sense of humor. And you take almost every opportunity you can to slip in a sly one to poke a finger at the USCIS. I love it.
Awesome. Yeah, I do. I'm very cheeky that way. Very cheeky. Yes, for sure.
It's been good. So you kind of bring like an everyman feel to this, it can be somewhat complicated, area of study and whatnot. So thank you for that.
Yeah. Life is short. We might as well have a little bit of fun, don't you think?
Absolutely.
Right.
So anyway, so Richard from New Hampshire,
Awesome.
been together with my wife for 8 years. Started the process. Been married for 3 years. Started the process. It was a little more than a year and a half ago. I-130 accepted. I-485 accepted, and so we've been in hover mode with all that. On the spur of the moment, my wife is Canadian born, but she's a native Indian, a Native American Indian. Okay. On the spur of the moment, last week, she said, "I wonder if this is going to do anything for us." Last Tuesday, so today is what? Tuesday or Wednesday? Today's Wednesday.
Tuesday.
Last Tuesday, we went down. She had her apostille, and we had a notarized paper and all that. Went down. Today in the mail, we got her Social Security card. So we have our 485 is in process. Where am I with that? I mean, does that Social Security card give her like status? I mean, she has status here in the U.S. now. Do we even really need the permanent residence?
Oh, sure you do. Yeah. The Social Security number, that's just for accounting purposes. That's
Understood.
No status. Okay. That's no status at all. So just to be clear, so she's inside the United States.
She's here. We have a home here in New Hampshire.
Squirrels. The squirrels are back. Well, the squirrels didn't want to miss the party.
Yeah, I get you.
So just to be clear, she's here in the United States, and you applied for adjustment, and you applied for a work card, and you checked the box that said, yes, send me a Social Security number, but you haven't received the work card.
Correct.
Yeah,
well, we received the Social Security card by her independently registering with Indian status.
Oh, well, that might be something special, but she, whether the ability of Native Americans to move back and forth between Canada and the United States, I honestly don't know how that works.
Fair enough then. Okay.
But as far I just want to make clear that you filed everything. You filed an I-130, a 485, a 131 for the travel document, a 765 for the work card, the I-864 for you, and the medical.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. You're just chilling.
So as of, I think it's February, the USCIS is actively working on our case.
They might be.
Yeah.
Some cases are going quickly.
Yeah. So the intent of my question was just, because I've actually been on a number of these calls, listened to them, and I've watched probably maybe not 400 of your videos, but I've watched a lot of them. But this particular thing, I said, wow, do we even need to follow through? Because at the end of the day, she's not planning on working here, but we want to be able to travel back and forth between here and Canada at will. So
get that green card. Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough then.
All right. Thanks, Richard.
Yeah, appreciate it, man. Thanks so much.
Bye, buddy. Yep.
Congratulations on the 400 episodes.
Thanks so much. All right, that was Richard with some interesting questions from New Hampshire. I don't know how close Richard is to the border, but man, it's just a different world up there. There's people who live in Canada and work in America and vice versa. It's just a different bag. Hey, Rocio's here, and she says she's got some great news for us. What you got?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, are you on a spaceship?
No, I'm at a cafe and it's like really noisy.
Oh, go ahead.
So I have good news. Now I'll make you guess. And you will have the right guess.
The 751 got approved.
Yes. I got the text message. Well, not the text message, an email. Because I can't get text messages. I'm in Argentina, so I don't have any phone service. And the funny thing is that I hadn't slept the previous night because I was flying. And when I saw the message, I was like, yeah, whatever. I left the phone and I was like, wait, what? Like it finally got approved after a year and a half. So no interview. I haven't had an interview for adjustment of status, nor did I have one for the 751
That's
one.
great. That's great.
So it
So
seems that it's doable.
yeah, now did you, when you got your 751 receipt, Rocio, are you still there? I think she's frozen. It's that damn internet cafe internet. Well, that's great news for Rocio. We're happy for her. She's a longtime watcher. She's from Columbus, Ohio. She's originally from Argentina. She got her 2-year green card, applied for her 10-year green card. Sounds like it took about 18 months. And I think filing that N400 probably moved things along, but that's great. So I believe her naturalization interview is at the end of August, if I remember correctly. So it's all good. Good job, Rocio. Okay. XX is back. What do you got,
Yeah.
XX?
Hi, Jim. I'm back, and I'm so sorry to be back again.
It's all right.
First of all, I do hope you're doing well, and congrats on your 400th episode
Thanks.
today.
Sure.
Jim, real quick, I don't know what to do, Jim. I've been speaking to attorneys here. Oh, you froze. Can you hear me?
I hear you.
Okay, so I have been talking to attorneys here and there. One attorney is telling me, go in, don't say anything, and just do it and be done with it. Because everything with my husband that he moved out is so raw and fresh, and after me filing it now, is
Can
there...
I ask a question?
Yeah.
So let's go with that approach, okay?
Yeah.
So you go down to immigration. Is the idea that your husband's going to go with you?
Yeah.
Okay. So most likely your husband will be asked to just sit out in the waiting room. Sometimes the officers just want to see that they're there and know that they're supporting you. And sometimes that's enough. Okay.
Yeah.
So first question, what's your name? My name's XX. Where do you live? I live at 123 Smith Avenue. Who lives there with you? Nobody, just me. What about your husband? Didn't you file under the 3-year rule? Where does your husband live?
Yeah.
I mean, as long as you're on, I don't have a problem with you going down there and being totally honest. As long as you're honest, that's fine. But to go down there and as the lawyer said, say nothing, I think that's a big problem.
Yeah, absolutely. And so but I mean, we were living together when I filed. Is that not a requirement? I mean, that's so stupid. Like, people split up the very next day after doing the oath ceremony. It's like makes no sense to me.
That's very rare, actually. I've hardly ever heard that. I've hardly ever heard of. I mean, I've heard of people getting divorced or filing for divorce a little bit after naturalization, but that's pretty rare.
Could they?
And just real quick, to your point, they changed the way that they interpret the 3-year rule. So remember, most people who apply for a green card have to wait 5 years for the eligibility to apply for citizenship. It's an exception. It's an exception for married people. Most people have to wait 5 years. So you have to look at it. They're sort of doing you a favor. So one of the things that they've really tightened up is that you have to have lived together in marital union for all the way up until you naturalize. And so if you want to take advantage of the 3-year rule, you can always just apply under the 5-year rule. But I had a client who was eligible to apply for citizenship, filed for citizenship, got his interview scheduled under the 3-year rule, and his spouse died. I was in shock when I researched it, but that case was over. You have to be married and now living together in marital union up until certainly the interview. So I don't know that the case is approvable. And what to me, it's more important to me that you never get hit with a fraud or misrepresentation charge when if you just wait a little while, you're going to get your citizenship, no problem. I mean, what's the start date on your green card? How long have you had your green card?
I'm a lawful permanent resident since April 22nd, 2020.
Right. So in January of 2025, which is a year and a half from now, you can apply and this all goes away.
Okay. So Jim, I do have another question. I don't know if you remember, I did that withdrawal request.
Yeah, I remember.
I should I'm gonna go in and I will tell them about the withdrawal request, and I should just go ahead and withdraw it, probably, huh?
That's generally what I think. I'm not your lawyer, but that's generally what I think.
Okay. They would not let me revoke my withdrawal request?
It depends. I've seen all kinds of crazy shit happen down there. So I've seen people I've seen people say, I want to withdraw my spouse's 40 or I-130. So anything's possible down there. It just depends what officer you get, what kind of mood they're in, and whether they're up for all this rigmarole. You know, they just want to come in and naturalize somebody or not. They don't want a big drama. They don't want a big scene. And they're going to be confused when people say, I want to withdraw my N-400 and then change their mind. So I mean,
Right.
it seems to me that you're not going to be able to go through this interview without telling them the whole story.
Oh no.
I don't know how you don't tell them the whole story. Especially, no offense, you've called here 3 times now and told me the story 3 times. Like, I think it's almost going to be impossible for you to hold it back.
Yeah, of course. I mean, if they of course ask and the conversation goes down that road, of course.
But I don't know how it doesn't go down that road. That's what I'm
Right.
saying. I think it has to go down that road.
Got you. Jim, and then one last question, and then you can hop on to the next person.
Yeah.
On the N-400, part 2, question 3 dot. Other names you have used since birth. So people have nicknames for me, but I've never used that nickname legally on a paper. Does my nickname go in there as well?
If you've called yourself that nickname, if you used it, if you've signed letters or used it, I would put it. Otherwise, no.
Okay, I got you. Alrighty. Thank you, Jim.
Right. Good luck.
Thank you.
I think she's going through with that interview. That's what I think. I think she's going through. We'll see. Hopefully she'll let us know. Hopefully whatever is supposed to happen will happen and that it all goes well. All right. Hey, I have some good news. Not only is today our 400th episode, it is also the birthday of our friend Vadim up in Boston. Hello, Vadim. Happy birthday, my friend. Happy for you. I hope that your 29th birthday is a great one. So congratulations, Vadim. Good to see you, buddy. All right. Let's see who's next. Looks like Marissa Funa. Hello.
Hello, Jim. How are you?
I'm great. How are you doing?
We are great. We have been watching you for a while now, and we really appreciate everything you're doing for us.
Sure. What's up?
We have some couple questions. We have some situation going on with my case. We applied for I-485 and 130 on marriage-based case. My husband is a U.S. citizen. We applied since August last year, August 2nd. I just got my 765 and I-131 advance parole approved in May.
Did you get a combo card or did you get 2 different documents?
I got the combo card.
Nice. Okay, great.
Yes. So as soon as we got the combo card, then I find out that my mom needs to have a surgery done back home. She's really sick. We already bought a flight ticket, my husband and the 2 kids. We're supposed to fly on July 4th. But before the fly, we received an interview notice for June 27. So we canceled the flight. We didn't go since the interview was just around the corner. So we waited to go for the interview in Philadelphia.
The interview was going to be July 27th after the trip or before the trip, June 27th?
Before the trip, June 27.
Why did you cancel? Because you thought it wasn't going to take a week to have the interview. Why didn't you go? Oh, because you would have been gone. Really... I'm sorry. No, if the interview is on June 27th, why not do the interview and then go on July 4th?
Yes, that's what we wanted to do, but we told ourselves since the interview was around the corner, we didn't think about maybe the card would take longer before coming in. Then we say, okay, let's cancel the trip so I can just get out with my green card, right?
Gotcha. Yep.
So we went to the interview. From what the officer have asked us, we think from our thought that everything went well, but
Good.
I forget to include one of my previous divorce. I forget to include a copy. And she asked me if I have the copy at home. I told her, yes, I have the copy at home. I wish we are closer. I can run and go bring it to her. Then she told me, okay, if you have a copy at home, go ahead, send it to me tomorrow. I'm just waiting for the copy to make a decision. And we told her about the upcoming trip. And she said, okay, but once we did the interview, most of her question was based on like address, like from the years I came in here, where were you, where were you, where were you? Like I get married like 3 times. I get married before with 2 US citizens. One has filed for me, one didn't file for me. And this, my actual husband also is a US citizen, but we have kids. We have 2 children together.
The first person that sponsored you, how far did that case go?
On that case, we got separated in 2014 and they denied the 130.
So you
They
had an
denied
interview.
it.
You had an
He
interview?
didn't go to the interview, to the second interview. He didn't show up.
And if USCIS were to go knock on his door today, what would he say about you?
He will say good thing about me because he was the one that was not good that make me left him.
Okay. All right. So, okay. So the officer says, drop me. Now, first of all, just real quick, so everybody knows, if you're ever in that situation like we have here, where you leave something at home, depending on the office and depending on whether or not you live close to the office, some officers will say, hey, if you go and get that right now and bring it back before 3 or 4, I'll treat it as if you brought it to the interview so that you don't have to do all this other rigmarole. So if you ever find yourself in that kind of a situation, go ahead and ask if you can go bring it and come right back. Like they've done that for us probably 20, 25 times. So it's always worth an ask. They might say no. They might say, I have to send you an RFE because there's other stuff I'm going to ask. But if you can avoid bringing it tomorrow and instead bringing it today, it makes a big difference because the file's
That's
still
true,
there.
because I did ask her. That's
Yeah.
true. I did ask her, but we are like almost an hour 45 away from the Philadelphia
I got you. It's
field.
all
So
good.
I wish that day we can run quick home and take it. But she gave us RFE on the spot for 30 days. She gave us the RFE, she handed it to us. And before she gave us the RFE, when we finished, we did a separate interview. She called me first. We came in together. We swear she make my husband go away. She kept me there for like almost 25 to close to 30 minutes asking questions, in which when we done, she called my husband in. My husband was in for like less than 15 minutes. And then she bring me back in. She asked me some question about one of the marriage that I didn't talk about. Then I told her, yes, I'm sorry. I completely forget to tell her about that part. But she said,
what?
okay.
Wait a minute. So on the I-130 or the 45, it asks you to list all of your marriages. Did you list them on the forms?
We had a lawyer before. She listed 3. She listed 3. Yeah. Actually, it was like a 4. My actual one is like a 4th one. But the first one I did when I was quite very young back home. And I have a child in that marriage. So that was the one we forget to list it. And she asked me, she gave me RFE, a proof that that marriage is no longer existing, in which I have a copy, in which we send it to her next day.
What country was that divorce from?
Niger, Niger.
Okay. And did you participate in that divorce? Were you present when the judge issued you divorce from that person?
It's not, I told her that it's not a legal paper. It's like an Islamic divorce in the mosque. Yeah, but it was notarized and all that. We wasn't legally married.
Okay. So to be clear, I have a situation where somebody didn't put their first marriage on their I-130, and in the interview, the officer asked, how many times have you been married? And you said 3, not 4.
Mm-hmm.
Is that right?
3 was listed there.
What'd you say?
The lawyer listed only 3.
That wasn't my question. My question was, at your interview, did the officer, forget the forms, forget what the lawyer did or didn't do.
Okay.
Before, when you were by yourself, before she kicked you out, brought in your husband, and then and when you came back, in that first time you were in with the officer, did she ask you how many times have you been married?
Yes, she did.
And what did you say?
I told her 3.
Okay, now here's the big question. How did you enter the United States? Did you come on a visit visa?
Yes, on a visit visa.
And when you applied for the visit visa, did you say that you were married or that you were single?
Separate.
Are you sure?
Yeah, if I remember, yep. Yes.
Well, I doubt that they would have. How old were you when you got your visit visa to the United States?
That was back in 2005.
Okay. So, okay. So, right, but so just to be clear, and did you get divorced before you got on the plane to come to the United States, or did you get divorced while you were in the United States to that first person,
Before.
Islamic divorce?
That was before.
So after your visa interview, but before you came?
Yes, before I came. Yes.
Yeah, they really don't like that. That's like a total pattern. Like there's a book out there somewhere that says, hey, everybody, go apply for a visit visa and tell them that you're married or be married. And then before you come to the United States, get divorced, because they would never give you the visa if you were single.
Oh, I was completely divorced before I took the visa.
And you told them that, or you told them you were separated?
No, not separated. I was divorced. I told the officer that
Okay,
we were no longer together.
When I asked you, you said separated.
Oh no, divorce. I mean, I'm sorry, divorce.
That's okay.
I mean.
So okay, so clearly, and so I guess what you're going to tell me is you haven't received an I-130 approval notice, and you don't have a decision on the 45. Is that right?
Yes, and what she did when we finished the interview, she called us both inside again, and before she gave us the RFE, she told us that my husband's testimony was accurate. That's what came from her mouth. She said, your husband's testimony was accurate. I'm just waiting for I'm going to give you an RFE for 30 days, and I'm just waiting for the copy of your divorce. If you have it at home, go home now and send it to me as soon as you can so I can make my decision.
Wait, so, okay. So, okay. So here's the question. Did your husband tell the officer about the marriage back home in Niger during his part of the interview?
No, she did not ask him none of that.
So when you say she said he was accurate, you mean that he was, like, when they were asking the gotcha questions, like what color is the towel in the bathroom and that kind of stuff?
I don't know. Yes, I think that's what she means. Yeah, because most of the questions she asked us about our own life was accurate.
When you applied for your visit visa to come to the United States, what was the purpose of your visit?
I came into a conference.
And did you go to that conference?
Yes, I did.
Okay. So what question do you have for me? I think I have a good understanding of the situation. What do you want to know from me?
So what I want to know now, we have moved the trip for August the 1st. So now our question is that, can we go to that trip, or what can we do? Because the RFE she gave us is for 30 days. They still didn't make a decision. If we trying to go to that trip, am I gonna be able to come back with my family, because we're all going together? Like, if I come to the custom and the border will let me in, because I don't know if they're gonna make a decision after we left or before we leave. I don't know.
Okay. So here's the thing. If you were my client, I would never let you leave the United States until you have your green card in hand, even with advanced parole. You've been out of status in the United States for years and years.
Okay.
And you've had 3 marriages in the United States and 1 abroad, and there's an issue. I mean, putting aside the issue of whether I think this is approvable, because I'm not sure. I would never advise someone to leave the United States until they actually had their green card in their hand after having been in the United States for more than 10 years or whatever without status. So that's one thing. But in your particular situation, I think your green card case is in trouble. I think she might conclude either that marriage back in Niger is still ongoing and therefore you weren't free to marry number 2, number 3, and number 4, or you misrepresented yourself to get the visit visa to the United States, and therefore you're going to need a waiver for that misrepresentation, and you're going to have to prove up this whole hardship thing. So I definitely wouldn't advise leaving, and I'm not sure you're going to get your green card.
So why did she tell us then?
I can't hear you.
My husband's testimony was.
Your microphone is dropped or something.
Can you hear me, Jim?
Now I can. Go ahead.
Yeah, I said, then in that case, why did she tell us that my husband's testimony was accurate, that she was waiting just for the copy?
She's contrasting it to yours, which she thinks wasn't accurate. That's exactly what she meant. She thinks you weren't accurate with your testimony. I mean, that's a strange thing to say, that a U.S. citizen's testimony was accurate. Well, of course it was. So to even comment on it means that she thinks somebody else in the room wasn't being accurate with their testimony, to me. And that's just me guessing.
Okay.
I got to get going.
In that case,
yeah, go ahead.
By the 27th, gonna be 30 days. So in that case, if they don't make any decision by the 27th, what should we do?
Well, if I felt that this was a case that was leaning towards being approved, I'd probably say to sue. But you have a work card, and I think you don't want to bother them for a while, and you want to wait and see what happens. So I would not sue them.
Okay. Okay,
right.
So you mean there is no chance for us to do the trip because they might not make a decision right away? The trip is only for 14 days.
It could be 1 day to Canada. I wouldn't want you to leave because I don't know that they're going to let you back in. What if they deny it while you're gone? Then you're definitely not. Then they might not let you back in.
Yes, I have a quick question about that denial also. So, like, can they go ahead straight to deny somebody, or are they going to send you an attempt to deny?
They're supposed to send a notice of intent to deny, but they don't always.
Sometimes they don't.
They're supposed to.
So in case they deny, like, is there any other way, like, for the person to come back and appeal or not?
All those things are possible, but anything's possible in your situation. I think that you might have to appeal. You might need a waiver. You might need more evidence. You might get called back in again. I think anything could happen. Especially, they don't play in Philly. They do not play in Philly. Right? It's certainly not the worst office I've been to, but they don't mess around, and you've got a complicated immigration history. You never should have filed this without a lawyer. Never.
I did with a lawyer. We have a lawyer.
Well, you never should have filed it with a lawyer.
We did it with a lawyer.
You never should have filed it with a lawyer who didn't figure out that you had a marriage back home. That's all. I know that's not your fault. I'm just saying that's a huge deal right now.
So you mean even if we go out and come back, let's say we are out of the country, they deny it, there is no way for them to let me in to do the appeal here?
I didn't say no way, sister. I said, let's say it's a 3% chance they don't let you back. Everyone else can come, just not you. If it's a 3% chance or a 1% chance they don't let you back in, what are you going to do if they don't let you back in? You're going to be stuck out of here for years. That's
true. We called Custom and the Border this morning.
What'd you say?
We called CBP this morning, and the lady say, like, let's say if they deny it, then they won't let me in.
Yeah, you should not be messing around with CBP. You shouldn't do anything. I'm sorry your mom is sick, but you shouldn't do anything till your green card is in hand. And okay. I think you got a 20% chance of getting that green card.
Okay, Jim.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Okay, you got it.
Thank you.
All right. Hey, I just want to say hi to my friend Leo de la Garza down in Austin. Awesome family or awesome immigration firm down in Austin, Texas. I hope Leo and his beautiful wife, who practice together, are watching because it's our 400th episode. So glad to have them here. I have not hung out with those guys in a while, and I need to. All the best to you guys. Thanks for tuning in. Let's say hi to Anna. Hello, Anna.
Hi, Jim. Hi.
I,
Can you hear me?
I hear you. How you doing?
Okay, I'm doing good. And well, congratulations on the 400 episode. That's a
Thanks.
lot of your time that you just,
That's 400
give
hours.
up.
400 hours. So that's a lot of days. Yeah, yeah. How you doing?
Yeah, definitely. Well, I have only a few questions. I want to make it this real quick for you and for me and everybody else. We have a case, I-30 petition. My husband is a petitioner. I think I don't know if you remember me. I have been on the
I remember your face
show
and your
few
voice.
times.
I remember your
Yeah.
voice. Yeah.
So, anyways, that was 2000. The I-30 got approved on April 12th, 2021.
Wow. Okay.
And I want to know how it's for my son. He was 17 back then. This November, he's gonna turn 20. And I want to know if you know any information on how long the cases in Juarez are taking.
So when did he get documentarily qualified?
What do you mean by that?
Well, so USCIS approved the I-130, right?
Yes.
And then his case went to the National Visa Center, right?
Yes.
And then you paid some fees?
Yes.
And you filled out some electronic forms and you sent in some evidence, right?
Yes.
And then at some point, the National Visa Center should have said, "Hey, Anna, everything's cool," and they would have said, "Your
Okay.
case is documentarily
That
qualified."
was this January, the 22nd of this year.
Okay, so I don't follow the ins and outs of every embassy, but I bet people will put in the comments, what you can expect. But my understanding is that you're usually at the State Department in Juarez, as long as it didn't take too long at the NVC. Usually it's 2 years total at the State Department. So you probably have probably till January or so till you see something moving.
Till next year,
probably. I think, but other people
Yeah.
know better than me how things work in Juarez as far as the timeline.
Okay. And do you have any idea? I mean, we have a lawyer, but I'm pretty sure it will follow with the paperwork that he will need to bring to his interview.
Yeah.
That he needs to bring. You think he will need to bring I became a citizen? I'm sorry.
He'll want to be prepared to prove up the relationship between you and him and that you're a US citizen if he needs to. He probably won't, but he should have everything with him that he would need to do in order to do that.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Bye, Anna. See you later.
Bye.
All right. Looks like Angela's back from yesterday. Hello, Angela.
Hi, Jim. I talked to the USCIS yesterday, and I had just asked them, I got contradictory information from the NVC. I said, one time they said they did get my petition scanned over from the USCIS, and one time they said they didn't. So I wanted to find out from you guys if you guys actually scanned it over. And they couldn't give me a direct answer. They just put it in an inquiry. Then I got a general email today stating that, they're on a delay. So is there any way that you know of that you can actually continue to check on your things to make sure that it got scanned over, that
keep calling everybody, keep bugging everybody. Just keep bugging.
Is there an actual number for the National Visa Center? Because I just keep on sending emails.
There's an email address, but I don't think there's a phone number.
Okay, so just keep on bugging them forevermore.
Yep.
Okay, so but there is no site or any informational thing that I can go online and find out if they actually did scan it over.
Well, you should get some kind of notice. I don't know. You should get some kind of notice from
CIAC. And it's been past 6 weeks. They said, wow, they have 6 weeks to really, that's your time frame. I was like, well, it's past 6 weeks. So
yeah, and usually
we're just trying to.
Yeah. All right, Angela. Thanks so much. Keep bothering them. That's all I got. Just keep bothering them. Franklin's here. Hello, Franklin.
First on your 400th episode, and we truly appreciate all you do and you and your team do. So thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So
Yeah, for sure.
real quick here, and I'll promise I'll leave it alone. So I have an RFE that probably requesting for information, probably maybe on the church, hospital documents and things for my sister's early urges with my mom's name and my sister's information on it and stuff like that.
Yeah.
We got a lot, but most of them have extra letter alphabet added to my mom's name because it depends on where you're from in the country and how they spell that name. Do you think doing an affidavit to say that the H doesn't need to be there works better, or what will be the suggestion here?
Either way, I think you could leave it. It's just one letter, the letter H.
Just one letter. So, and it depends because I don't want it to come back and say everything's all right, information, everything is just one letter, and it depends on which part of the country, who's writing it. So if they're from different part of the country, they add H. If they're not, they just don't add H.
I can't guarantee that it won't be an issue, but I've never seen any kind of issue related to a slightly different spelling of someone's name. I'm sure it comes up from time to time, but I've never seen that.
And would you suggest that we just do an affidavit just to clear that?
Yeah, I would. Yeah.
And does it say that
I would have the affidavit be from somebody who isn't related to your family.
Gotcha.
Does that make sense?
Right.
Like some neutral person who says, "Yeah, I know how things work back in the home country, and here's how that shit works. If you live in this area, they add the H. If you live in this area, they don't add the H. I lived there for 46 years, and I'm a U.S. citizen now, and that shit's true."
Okay. And then also, can my mom just do it and just say, "Hey, that is my name doesn't have to be H doesn't have to be added to my name and stuff like that." Would that also work?
What do you
I don't know
mean?
if that makes sense. So can my mom just swear off David that her name is, let's say, AB without an H?
No, I wouldn't. I would go the other route. I wouldn't have your mom mess around with anything. I don't want your mom testifying even by affidavit.
Gotcha. All right.
Thanks,
good.
Franklin.
No problem.
See you, buddy. You got it. All right. Christian's up next. Hello, Christian.
Hey, how are you?
Good. I had my hat on when I was doing my TikTok today. I was doing that same angle on the hat. How you doing? What's up?
Good. So first a comment. So I don't know if you remember when I was telling you that I was waiting for the NBC to send me a welcome letter. It was like 31 days, and then you would like just send them an email. So I did exactly that, and then the next day they sent me a welcome letter. So thank you for that advice.
Good.
So my question is, when you're filling out the DS-216, one of the questions that's asking is, have you done your vaccines according to the U.S. or whatever? My husband doesn't have any of those, but he would get it at the interview. So do you put? He would get it by the medical. So do you put yes on that question, even though you don't have it yet, but you would get it by the medical date?
So if it were me, I would have him go do it now, get all the vaccines, keep the records, and then so that I could answer that question, yes.
Okay, because I mean, because he wanted us to do everything at the medical. Because according to the email that I have from one of the doctors that's gonna do all the tests,
Right.
they were like, do not do any tests. Everything will be done at the medical. So
Okay, then say no. Yeah, that's cool. If that's what every embassy has different rules on that, so I'm cool with that.
So just put no that he doesn't have it.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. All right, but that's all I needed. And
Bye, buddy.
congrats to your 400.
Thanks, Christian. See you, man.
All right.
Later. All right. Jermaine is here. Hello, Jermaine.
Good.
How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great. I have a few questions I want to ask.
Go for it.
Okay, I'm a Bahamian citizen and I'm married to a U.S. citizen. I came to the States a few times, and then I came and I proposed to her. And the same week that I proposed to her, we got married, and I left the U.S. Come back to the U.S. 2 more trips, and then the 3rd trip, me and my kids are here. Now, my kids have overstayed their time. They've been to the United States now for 6 months.
How old are they?
My kids are 13 years old and 14.
Okay, so did you say you're from the Bahamas? Is that what you said?
Yes, sir.
So I have a dad from Bahamas, 2 kids from Bahamas. They're in the United States. So when did you enter the trip in which? So how many trips have you had to the United States since you got married? One. This one.
Since I got married, 3.
Okay. So so and did you had a multiple entry visa, like you could, like a 10-year visa or a 5-year visa where you could come and go?
Well, I used the ESTA.
ESTA. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So on the trip 4 trips ago where you got married, when did you enter and when did you get married? How much time passed between when you entered and when you got married?
When I entered, when I get married. I entered on that Saturday, proposed on that Monday, and get married on that Friday. But
Okay.
but I left the United States the time I
Yeah.
was supposed to leave.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. But so then you've been leaving and going on time, but the last time you were here, you left your kids and they've been here longer out of status than you. Is that sort of how it went?
Yes, I had to go back home to do a job, and then I
Hmm.
came back to United States.
Okay. So what's the question?
The question is, what's the first thing I need to do, and will it be an issue for me to get my kids straight now that they overstayed their time?
Well, what's the plan? What's the plan
You know?
are you gonna are you going to file for a green card or what?
Yes, I'm gonna file for a green card as soon as next month.
And you're gonna stay the whole time
Yes,
with your kids,
yes,
and you're not leaving again until you and them get their green cards, right?
yes.
Okay. So you're gonna this fact pattern that you've given me, they're gonna be confused by. Like they're not gonna get it. They're not used to people. So first of all, there's a rule that says you're not supposed to get married within 60 days of arrival.
Okay,
Okay. So the fact that you got married so quickly after arriving, that's going to throw them for a loop. Like they're not going to know what to do about that. Like that's something that sort of is on their radar. It's something they're listening for, but they're not going to know what to do.
oh,
Then
oh,
hold on. Then the fact that you left and came back and left and came back and left and came back, that is also something they're not going to be used to, right? So this is going to take some work, and you're going to have to explain some things to them. And you're probably going to need I would probably say this is a case for a lawyer, because you're going to need to come in with legal arguments as to why what you did getting married so quickly doesn't get you in trouble as far as a misrepresentation on entering on ESTA. Does that make sense?
oh, okay. I understand what you said, but let me say this: we never had any plans to get married when I came. We had plans to get married further on December that year.
Yeah, I believe you, but they'll never believe you because it happened so fast.
Yeah.
I mean, we can make that argument. You can make that argument, and if you have proof, like someone was talking to me about this on the show the other day, and they actually had made some efforts towards planning a wedding in December. So if you have any evidence that you did and that you just sort of eloped spur of the moment, that can help. But otherwise, you're just talking about your testimony and not much else. And so and then they're also not going to know what to do with your kids. And then the other problem is ESTA isn't great when it comes to, it's not like you had a visa. So they actually have more discretion to deny your green card case, your I-130, than if you had an actual visa. So this case is approvable. You can get a green card, but there's a lot of little hurdles and a lot of little traps for you and your spouse that you're going to need to make sure that you put the case together well, and most importantly, that if you get called in for an interview, that you are able to explain all this stuff in a way that's honest, but doesn't make it look like you tried to sneak in here, get married fast. Your best argument is you left, right? So in my mind, the whole getting married too soon only comes into effect if you then apply for a green card on that trip. But you had trips in between. You were living your life. you got married sort of quickly. You didn't understand really. You hadn't talked to a lawyer yet. You didn't know that you weren't supposed to do that. So I think there's lots of things in your favor. But I could also see somebody saying, this dude's a liar. This dude flew in, got married, and he abused Esta. Esta's not for the purposes of getting married, not for the purposes of applying for a green card. And he left his kids here out of status. He's just not following the law left and right. So I think it's approvable, but I think they're going to give you a hard time.
The trip where we got married, let me just explain the time frame. We got married last year, September the 2nd. I came back in October. No, I lied. I came back in November for Thanksgiving. And then I came back in January with my kids this year.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had to left to go do a job in March. Left and come back.
Has anyone at customs ever asked you if you're married to a U.S. citizen or why you're coming so much?
No.
That's good. Okay, and where do you and your spouse live?
In Atlanta.
Okay. Do you have any other questions for me, Jermaine?
No, that'll be it.
All right, buddy. Good luck.
All right, thank you very much.
Thanks, man. See ya. All right. Fasting was here. Fasting left. Let's say hi to Holu. Hi, Holu.
Hi.
How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. And you?
I'm doing great. What you got for me?
Okay. Quick one. Let me run you through. So I came into the United States 2015 as a student on a student visa. 2016, 17. I have to be out of status because things weren't go fine for my dad back home, like financially. So I was out of status. So after that, I met my ex-wife. I mean, they like a year after that, I met my ex-wife. We got married.
So how long were you actually in school?
I was in school for like a year plus. So
okay.
I was out of status because it's a private school. I couldn't make up my school fee anymore around that.
Okay.
So yeah, I met her. We got married 2017. Then I got my work authorization. We were scheduled for interview December that's in 2017. But before then, we've had our issue. I guess probably because we married young. I was less than 30. She's also like early 20, 21, 22. So we had an issue. So we've a little bit separated. So for the interview, when we meet for the interview, I went in by myself. Luckily, they rescheduled the interview. I was able to reschedule the interview that same day for another time. So then the next time she was able to go with me. She went with me and went together. At that interview, the request for more evidence. Some of the request for more evidence at that interview.
More marital evidence or something else?
She was specific. She requested for statement of account. Yes, she was being specific. Our family account.
She wanted to know how you guys spent money and saved money.
Exactly. So but while we're separated, remember I said we had our issue. She has gone ahead to close the family account.
Okay. All right.
But then she went ahead to.
So what happened to this case? Did she withdraw? Did it get denied? What happened?
So yeah, I was denied. That case, I was denied. I received the notice they sent. They sent one to me. They sent one to her. So for mine, they said before then I was already out of status. That I need to go back to my country. Then for her own letter, which luckily for me, I mean everything comes to my address. So I saw her and I read her own. So what they say in her letter was that she told them that we are friendship relationship and not spousal relationship.
Did they separate you at that interview?
Yes, they did.
In what country are you from?
Nigeria.
Okay.
So in her own letter, the feedback they gave to her, they said, from the moment that's the day that she said that they've withdraw my whatever benefit, and she told them in the letter they sent to her that she said we were friendship relationship and not spousal relationship. So that was what it said. So
did she ask them to withdraw the I-130, or did they just deny the I-130 because of what she said?
I think she withdrew petition. She withdrew the petition.
Yeah. Okay. And so therefore, your 45 had to be denied.
Exactly. You're right, sir.
Okay. So then you divorced her, and now you're married to somebody else.
So yes, I put in for divorce. We're divorced because I received a letter if I want to appeal, but I never appeal because I know it's not gonna go through.
Yeah.
Divorce. So yeah, I'm married now to my wife. We got married 2021 May.
Mhm.
I put in application. I got my work authorization. My I-130 has been approved. I went for interview May last year, right?
Together, you both went?
Yeah, we both went.
Did they separate you?
No, we're not separated.
Does your spouse know all about what happened with the first?
Exactly. She's fully aware. She's fully informed.
And what field office?
Dallas.
And did you bring an attorney to that interview?
No.
Incredible. I can't believe it. Okay. All right, go ahead.
So I went to the interview. I did it, filing everything myself, went to the interview. I went with a lot of evidence, like we have pretty much enough evidence, like picture, photo for our wedding,
Yep.
our house, our house paperwork that we bought, everything. I went fully with every information. So the officer said what he said that day was that he has not received my I-130 because we filed that one online. So he said he has not received the I-130. That so he couldn't compare what we said to the I-130. Though I was like, wait, we filed this one online. This is soft copy. Is something you should be able to access online compared to the other one that I filed through paperwork. But yeah, that was what the feedback he gave that day.
But you had received a notice that USCIS had approved the I-130.
Yes, it was after
before the interview.
It was after the interview that they approved the I-130.
So when you show up to the interview, neither application had been approved.
No, but I've got authorization and advanced parole. So
that doesn't mean anything.
Yes. So it was after the interview so pretty much September, the I-130 was approved. Then
last September 22.
Yes, sir. Then a month after or 2 months after, my I-485 shows actively being reviewed.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where I am right now. Ever since then, it's actively been reviewed. I tried to call them to my wife has called like a couple of times to ask like, hey, what is the delay? They said it's still within processing time. And you said it's still within processing time. And I remember in one of your videos that whenever it says it's still actively being reviewed, probably they're not doing anything. It's just right there.
Yeah. Right.
Nothing is being done. So I just want to know what will be your professional advice in this type of.
So you watched the show for a while?
Oh yeah, I've been following it for a while.
So you've heard the story of the Nigerian man coming and marrying and all that. I mean, I've heard it many times. You've probably heard it before. So you know they're suspicious right out of the box from men from Nigeria. Then you have the fact that your first wife didn't come to the first interview, and then she said, yeah, we filed for this green card, but we're really just a friendship relationship. So you have a huge strike against you. And I have a video on this very topic, which is marriage number 2 is cool, but marriage number 1 was jacked up. And so you need to go watch that video. But more importantly, I don't believe they're going to voluntarily give you a green card unless and until you sue them. They're going to wait for you to get divorced again. They're going to wait for things to fall apart, or that I don't think I think they're just going to sit on it until you sue them. Now, if you sue them, I think some things are going to happen. Number 1, I think they're going to come visit you at your house. Number 2, you're going to get a second interview you're going to get a Stokes interview with your spouse. And 3, they're probably going to say you misrepresented yourself in the first case, and therefore you need a waiver on this new case. So I think your case has lots of problems. I don't think they're going to voluntarily give you a green card. And I think that the I-130 approval probably doesn't mean much because the officer who's going to adjudicate your 45 can always go back and revisit it. And it's the prior denial and the we're just friends that you might have been legally divorced from that person, which means your new I-130 can be approved. But the 485 is the whole shoot match, and they can deny you the 485 because of the misrepresentations in the first case. So I think your case is in big trouble.
So to sue them, you said?
Yeah. So then you're going to spend $5,000 to push them to. I mean, the Dallas field office is pretty good, and they work pretty quickly when we sue them. So I think right now, I mean, they haven't taken any action on your case for almost a year. If we sue them, whatever's going to happen, it's like a fast forward button. I don't know what's going to happen. It doesn't sound good to me, but I can get you. I'm pretty sure I can get you a decision by suing that Dallas field office in about 60 days. And you just have to ask yourself, do I want to take the risk? Do I want to see what happens?
So, yeah, like I think what likely to happen, which you said, if I sue them, you said they are likely to visit me and my wife, which I'm not scared about that.
I know, but it's different when they come at 6 a.m, and it's different when they get your wife separated from you and they say, hey, he filed a friendship case before. Is this case real? We're going to throw you in jail if this case is fake. So that you might say you're ready for it, but it's not fun.
I actually we're expecting right now. My wife is like, she's due anytime from now in a week or 2 weeks time.
For a baby?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So I will say one thing. In these cases, I always say that the U.S. citizen on marriage number 2, they're the star witness. If they're strong and they have an attitude like I do about like F USCIS, and this marriage is real, and I wanted to get my husband a green card, if they're willing to go toe to toe with them, then I would do it. If they're not, then I probably wouldn't. Are you there?
I'm here. I can.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're just thinking about what I said. I got you.
I thought you paused. I
thought that was it. Okay. You got to decide what you want to do. I'm sure I can get things moving for you. I just don't know where it's headed. I got to get going, Olu. That's the end of the show. Okay. If you want our help, just send me an email and we'll sue him.
All right. Okay. Okay. I will send email.
Do you have the email? Yeah. Julio put it up on the screen. Hold on. It's info@hackingimmigrationlaw.com. Info@hackingimmigrationlaw.com.
All right.
All right. Yeah, just watch the replay. You can get it off there, okay?
All right. Thank you.
All right, everybody. That will do it for today's show. Now, if you want to know when our next show is going to be, I'm not sure when it's going to be. I think it's going to be tomorrow, but I'm traveling, so we'll see. It'll probably be a game time decision. But if you text the word show, SHOW, to 314-470-3300, you'll get a text as to when our next show is, and you'll have the link to the waiting room. Thank you all for our special guests. Thank you for all the support that we received. Thanks for everyone for coming on. Thanks to Leo and Bernadette. We thank you, and we thank everybody for watching. And we will see you probably tomorrow. If not, it'll be next week. Peace, everybody. Bye, guys.